I want to just show you something. Did I take some calls? That it is the most dumbfounded thing. I don't know how anyone can stand it. But yet, American citizens are voting for this person. And how can that be? You have this woman who was brought into the country as a refugee. She came from a hellhole, as the president would say, a-hole nation, into the greatest nation.
S-hole.
Huh?
S-hole.
S-hole? Oh, S-hole. What did I say?
A-hole.
Same thing. And she was brought in this nation, a Christian nation. She never took her head rag off. She never disavowed Islam. And now she wants to destroy and turn this country to something else. So I'm wondering, does he want to turn it into a Muslim country? But this woman can publicly say this and get away with it in America. This is from Breitbart. This is from Breitbart. Tuesday at a news conference on systemic racism, which is a made-up lie. And they know it's a lie. They know you can't prove it. Because where is it? It's nowhere. It's a made-up lie. But at this news conference on so-called systemic racism with Minnesota leaders, this woman by the name of Ilhan Omar, a Democrat, of course, from Minnesota, called for dismantling America's system of oppression. Watch this.
We are fighting to tear down systems of oppression that exist in housing, in education, in healthcare, in employment, in the air we breathe. So we cannot stop at criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it.
Isn't that amazing? She never had to dismantle that hit rag on her head. This is a refugee, a Muslim refugee, who is now in Congress. She wanted to dismantle America. And this is the same woman was accused of being married to her brother or something. And no one says anything. She stays in Congress. And let one white man stand up for America, or one white woman, really. They are out of there. They go after them like 90 going north and run them away. But let a nutcase like this woman who hate America, a refugee, she's not even a real American, make a statement like that. Oh, that's so nice. Slavery, racism, systemic racism. Talking about a battle between good and evil. If that's not it, I don't know what is.
Some people did something.
Amazing. Where's your backbone, America? I received a backbone award, a spine award. See? Where's your spine, America? Men, where's your spine? Get up off your knees, men. When I watch that woman say that, Satan's like he'll try to make me just hate her. But I won't hate. I will repudiate, but not hate. CNN is reporting that Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders have created a joint task force to enact Bernie Sanders' far-left policies.
I was glad to work with the vice president in forming 6 separate task forces which had some of the most knowledgeable people in the country coming together to deal with education and climate change and healthcare and the economy and criminal justice and immigration reform. And I think the compromise that they came up with, if implemented, will make Biden the most progressive president since FDR.
Wow. And Joe Biden doesn't seem to know if he's going or coming. So that means, God forbid, if he should win the election, whatever woman he brings in, it's going to be the daughter of Satan. She would run it. And you don't want that. Believe me, you don't want that. It just feels good. May God have mercy upon America. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. These are some of the most interesting times I've ever seen. I'm so fortunate and blessed to be a part of these times. I expect great things to come out of this, though. It looks scary with the naked eye, but I expect amazing things to come from this, and I believe it will. Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden working together for left. When those people take over the government, you think it's bad now. It's done. When they take over the government, here's an example of what's to come, and even worse, if you allow the far left to take over the government. Let me give you an example of what's going to happen, even more so. Oh, you're going to be licking boots. You're going to lick boots. Here's an example of that. Walmart CEO, this is from Walmart. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon acknowledges that, the racial injustice in America. Watch this.
This first week of June is very different for us this year. We're painfully struggling with the long-standing and deep-seated issues related to injustice, inequity, and fairness. The murder of George Floyd is tragic, painful, and unacceptable. His death is not an isolated event. We remember Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many Black Americans who've been killed. It's important that we all understand that our problems as a nation run much deeper than one horrible event. Our nation has failed to fully acknowledge and resolve the root issues: slavery, lynching, the concept of separate but equal, and other realities from our past have morphed into a set of systems today that are all too often unjust.
He's trying to sound so humble, but he's so weak. And so are we saying now that all white people are saying out loud, admitting out loud, that they are racist, which doesn't exist, but they all hate black people? Is that what this guy's saying? You shouldn't be saying that out loud. You're bringing out the worst in the blacks. You haven't seen anything, sir. You need to go over to South Africa if you doubt me, and you would see the things to come in America. It's happening here already. The exact same thing. You could even protest on a white person's private property. You can commit terrorist acts on a white person's private property. And if they go out there to defend themselves, they become the criminal. You ain't seen nothing yet. Washington Examiner is reported that a member of the board of directors for the far left wing, Thousand Current Group, which handle the intake of donation made to Black Lives Matter, is a convicted terrorist who, among other things, was suspected of helping convict cop Oh, who was helping convicted cop killer out of jail? Susan Rosenberg. I know why y'all don't see, but y'all need to be trying to wake up. Major U.S. companies are pledging support with hundreds of millions of dollars going toward fighting so-called racial justice. So the white people are saying, okay, here I am. Y'all can take my land without compensation. You can beat up my children. You can beat me up. You can curse us out. We're not going to do it. And the men are worse than the women. Such a sad way to live. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.